Hello, so this video will be about answering some questions to do with, is it working? Am I doing this incorrect? And a lot of these questions will come from the fact that people in today's world are looking for instant gratification. Our old pagan ancestors were not looking for instant gratification. They understood that these things take time and practice. So if you do the practices, rituals, and the energy work, do not worry if you are not feeling it right away, or if you do not see results right away. It is not a problem. Just trust, do the practices, do the rituals, do the energy work, and trust that on an unconscious level, on a spiritual level, that it is happening, that it is working. Even if you feel nothing and you don't, you do not have to hear voices in your head or anything like that. And sometimes you will be confused, you won't be sure, you'll hear a voice or a suggestion or something and you will think, is that just me thinking that? Or is that actually the deity or the energy I'm connecting with telling me that? And truthfully, you will not know. There's no way you can know for certain. But usually, later on, depending on what it tells you, if it starts to make sense or comes to pass in your life, then usually that means it would have been, yes, an energy or a deity or something telling you that, but it wanted you to know. So, one of the important keys to making this all work for you is to make sure you're on one of the paths in life that you want to be on. So to figure out what you truly desire in life, what you truly want in life, not just what you think you want because you've been on this earth for a little while now and you think you have some ideas that maybe your parents made you think you want or school made you think you want. The best thing you can do to begin all of this, if you are new at this, is first start with figuring out what you want. So to do that, you have to use your imagination. Now imagine yourself in a world where you don't have to work. You have no bills to pay. There are no ridiculous laws and things prohibiting you. There's no government you gotta pay taxes to or anything like that. And then think, what would you do anyway? The things that make you so happy that you do not care, even if there were no rules forcing you to do these things, you would do them anyway. I will give you an example of ones for me that I practice, and I'm glad I do, because they are things I would do even if I did not live in this world where I must make money and pay bills. I fix cars. I would do that anyway, not just as a job, but I would do that even for fun. Restoring old cars, that kind of thing. I ride motorcycles. I like gardening. I do blacksmithing. I carve things from wood. These are all, for me, soul desires. Things that truly make me happy, and I would do them anyway, whether they make me money or not make me money. They are just things that I truly enjoy to do. Another thing could be having a family. That is something I plan to do soon. And it is, something that I know my soul desires. It could be living in a different country. It could be living out in nature like I do. I live on 64 hectares of land. I think in acres, that's 160 acres of land. I have a 15 hectare, about 30 acre or so of private forest around my house. All these things I manifested. And I made them happen against all odds. And, you know, like I say, my parents died when I was young. I was on my own. I only have a grade 9 education. I never finished high school or anything. And by the time I was 21 years old, I had owned 64 hectares of land and a house on it and everything like that. Motorcycles. I have a Harley Davidson. I work on old cars and I restore them. I do blacksmithing. I carve wood. All the things that I want, I make happen. And that is doing that without a high school education, and that is doing that with no life insurance from the parents. When my parents died, they had no insurance. I did not get any money. They left me with absolutely nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing. I had to drop out of school and get a full-time job when I was 15 years old. So there is no excuse. No matter what your situation, you can make it happen. And doing ritual will align you. So even if you don't feel it at first, these practices that I have on my videos, do them anyway. Even if you have a bad imagination and you cannot imagine the energy flowing or anything like that, it does not matter. It is happening anyway. You do not have to feel it. You do not have to see it. You do not have to hear a voice whisper in your ear or anything like that. Just trust that it is happening, because it is. And after you do it long enough, it is different for everybody, then you will start to hear the whisper in your ear, or you will just see everything that you were trying to manifest, that you truly wanted, that you did your rituals for, to help create for your life, to choose the better pathways as opposed to the difficult pathways. And you will just see it unfold. You know, this won't happen in a day. Well, maybe it will, everyone different, but, you know, usually in a few months, sometimes a few years. All depends on you. Every single person is different and set their own difficulty levels for what they wanted to experience in this life. So, but just keep at it, because every time you start to try and do a ritual or something and you just, let's say you don't feel like doing it. You know, you're saying, I don't know, I don't think it really works, I don't really feeling it. That is your fear. That is your unconscious fear. Trying this Christian brainwash programming, it's trying to make excuses for you not to be persistent, for you not to persevere, so you will not, it is like Loki, so you will not overcome that laziness, that the difficulty you are feeling for whatever reason, whether it's you're lazy or you just are trying to convince yourself it is not working or you do not feel anything. These are all things that are there for a reason, and you put them there. You want it to be challenging for you to make these things, to feel these connections. You do not want it to be easy, because that would be no point in this life. When you do ritual, it is something you should do all the time. You should do it every day, even if it's just a short while. That kind of idea. It is all about being, what do you call that? Persevering through any difficulties, even if it's just, you know, you don't feel like it. You know, that's still a difficulty, and you are creating that difficulty. So, no matter what, just continue doing it and trust. Just trust. And as you continue doing the rituals and you can continue doing the energy work and connecting with the gods and all that, it will destroy your doubt in time. It might take a few days, it may take a few weeks, it may take a few months, heck, it may take a few years. Everyone is different. But eventually it will destroy your doubt, and you will see everything that you are working towards start to manifest. But you must have the understanding that first, you must know, you must figure out what makes you truly happy. The things, like I said, working on cars for me, or having a family is my next step I am working on here. And things like that, you know, you got to truly figure out. So the best thing, like I say, do what I said earlier. Imagine yourself in a world where there are basically no rules, and you can, what would you do anyway if nobody was forcing you or telling you you should do this or do that? Nobody's opinion mattered but yours. Even if it's something simple, you just like to paint or anything like that, because those are the things you need to go after in life. It is not about being rich. It is not about having, you know, a big house on the hill or anything like that. It is about what will make you happy. And the reason you planned to come here before, when you're in Helheim. Like I said, there are many pathways. It is not just one thing you can choose. You can choose multiple ones, many of them, and experience many different pathways and many different great things in life. And also, when you have resistance, the difficulty, when you're feeling like, oh, you know, this isn't really working, that is there, put by you, to make you have the difficulty, like from Loki. So you must overcome it.